Okay, see, this goes underneath the house, and there's plenty of room walking around up in here. One of these days, when I get done with the floor, I'll take you down into the basement here, not basement, but just underneath the house. Walk around with my light and check things out a little bit. Check and see if all the insulation is pushed up. Make sure that there's no holes in the ductwork. Make sure there's no wood laying around. And see that? Look at that. There's a piece of wood right there. Shame on you, Mr. Inspector. That peeves me. One thing that peeves me is when people don't do their job properly. Sorry about that, but you know, there's little bits and pieces of plywood, 2x4s down here, 2x6s down here, and all of that stuff is supposed to be picked up before the inspector tells them to go ahead and cover, or the inspector can walk down here after the fact. I mean, good golly, Miss Molly, do your job, Mr. Inspector. Okay, enough of that. So here's this area here, and I kind of wanted to look at this area. Remember, there was some black stuff here that I had scraped out along in here, and I wanted to kind of look at that, and I had used my brush on it, and I sprayed it with bleach. Yeah, I sprayed this whole thing with bleach, and I wanted to see if that was going to kill whatever it was. There's a couple little holes here, and I don't know if that's from some creepy crawlers or if that was from water damage from the deck up above. But either way, it doesn't look too bad. I was going to come in here and use some of that what is it? The mold paint, that primer that I use for everything out in this area here. I primed that with 2 coats of this what was it? Mildew killer primer. And I was going to do that in here. I was running low on paint, and I thought, no, I'm going to leave this open like this. That way I'll take a look at this maybe 6 months to a year from now, and see, I can just come underneath the house, come under here with a flashlight, come over here and take a look at it. If it looks like anything's growing again, then I can contact my pest control guy and have him come down here, take a look at it, identify what it is, because I don't think it was termites. I think it might have been some sort of little bug, beetle, boring ant, I don't know. But I've not seen anything crawling around anywhere. Okay, so it could have been just a mold buildup from moisture getting on the other side, because right in this area was from out here. Remember, was from out here, and it looks like it was around where that column is, and right up above that is where it was leaking, and it wasn't sealed properly. Water coming down from the column into that little inside corner right up in there, and then dripped down through the behind the stucco, and then it came right on down this wall and ran down this. Okay, well, that's where the column, see, that's where the column bumps out right here. Boom, shaboom, shaboom. That's that column, and the water was running right down the edge of that column, right on the inside corner. And the guys who built the deck, who sealed it, they sure didn't do a very good job, did they? I mean, you should look at that video again. It's just amazing what I found out here after I cut this open. This was a nightmare. It had mold, mushrooms, stuff was falling down, all the plywood flooring was bad, underneath the stairs was all nasty. You should have seen that. You should have seen that. It looks so nice now with everything built up in there. I've spent a lot of time and effort getting up to this stage. Okay, here's the paper that came off of this wall before they put the stucco on. They wrapped the whole house with this stuff. So I've got to make sure to get this out of here. And I've got to take, see, even little bits of wood like that I need to get out. So I'm going to look at this area right in here. I'm going to go ahead and clean this area out. This is termite food, stuff like that. Okay. Oh, there's a Sprite can, 17 years old Sprite can. This type of stuff. This is termite food. Look at that. They should have pulled that out. See that? But they didn't. I'll have to get my hammer and I can split that. You can see it stops right there. I can break that off, get that out of here. You just don't want to encourage termites by leaving wood around. Okay, so I'm going to clean this up. I'm even going to take this out. I don't need this over here anymore. So this is going away. And I've got something I'm going to use that for. Should I tell you about that right now? Okay, I'll show you one thing that I noticed after I got the floor joist up right towards the end of yesterday, getting all this stuff up in here and doing this. I looked around and I looked at this floor joist and my mouth almost hit the floor. You see there? You see that right there? Look at that. There's a knot right there. It's already starting to crack. It's open. And look on this side. You see how big that knot is? See where the crack goes up there? I never should have put that up there as a joist. And I'm not going to take it down now because I've got all the joist hanger nails in here. I've got the clip on here. I'd have to dig these nails out, kind of rip it apart and put another piece there. Well, I've got another idea that I'm going to do for that, and I'm going to make a little gusset. And I'm going to take this OSB plywood, whichever piece is better. Probably this one here. And I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut a straight line on it, and then I'm going to cut two pieces out of it, about 5 1/4 inches wide and this long. So this is about 2.5 feet long. And I'm going to put it up here, probably from here to about here, however long that is. I'm going to put liquid nails behind it, and then I'm going to screw it with some short screws, maybe 1-inch screws or 1 1/4 inch screws. And I'm going to put one piece on this side, and I'm going to put one piece over on this side. And believe me, that's going to make that stronger than that 2x6 ever was, even if it didn't have a knot. It'll keep it all together. The liquid nail construction adhesive and the screws. It's amazing what you can do with plywood, or with that OSB paneling plywood, I guess you can call it. Now see, these are floor joists. These are called TJI floor joists, and this is the same stuff, the OSB plywood. I'm not sure how thick this is. It could be only 1/2 inch thick. And see, there's a bottom rail on it. And see, that's just a lot of that layers of it. See how many layers you got on there? And then there's a top piece, and there's a little channel dadoed into it at top and bottom. And then this is glued in there. Can you believe that's what they use for floor joists nowadays? And those aren't even that tall. Those look like about 8 inches tall, and that's holding all the weight of that flooring up there. I don't know if you can tell, but from here I can see that it's higher on this side, lower on this side, it needs to be sloped because all of this floor right in here is outside. That's where that tile is. And then on the inside over here, there's more of those same TJI floor joists. And they can span long distances. Good grief, look how long those span. What the heck? That's probably, I don't know, 20 feet. 20 feet from that wall on over to there. So those TJIs, I know those aren't like 8 inches tall or something or anything. Those are probably like, I'm gonna guess 12 inches tall. There's insulation in there right now, so it's hard to see, but I know they're more than 8 inches. And the OSB on those might be 3/4 inch instead of 1/2 inch or something. I'm not sure, but that's how they make floor joists. Those things will never crack. Well, generally they don't crack, they don't split, they don't have knots in them, they don't bow, they don't have any crowns on them. They're nice and straight, and that's one of the best things you can use nowadays for floor joists. See over here, they just have it set on top of the wall, but on this side they used a band, a ledger, and then they have joist hangers. Their joist hangers are different than the ones that I put. These go up and they actually go back. There's a lip on there, maybe 1.5 inch, 2 inch lip, and that sets on top of this. So that takes some of the weight. And then there's one nail here and one nail there. That's it. Because all the weight, most of the weight is up on top. And then they've got a little bit of the weight is taken up with the joist hanger nails. So see, these are different than mine. Two nails, that's it. Nothing on the sides because they couldn't put anything on the side because you can see how they built those. That's what you call it, like an I-beam. TJI, truss joist, I-beam, I think. I don't know. Might be called, the name might be something else, but it's TJI. So anyways, okay. Your little classroom lesson is over for the time being. I'm gonna clean up in here and go back out in here and go from there. Thanks for joining me today, by the way. And if you are a subscriber, thank you again. And if you're not, why don't you subscribe? I've got all kinds of stuff on my YouTube channel that will help you save money around the house. Remember that piece of track I had? I had 2 5-footers because I cut a 10-footer in half at the store to get them back home. I only have 3 feet of that track left. That's how many little pieces I cut out of there. 3.5 inches long, and then cut it down the middle. Lots. And now I've got plenty of track. I'm going to save that now, and I can use that for whatever I need in the future. Oh, it comes in handy. Don't forget to get some. And I got this at Home Depot. I think they have it at Lowe's too. But like wholesale houses for sheetrock, most places they carry metal studs and track and all kinds of stuff. So if you can't find it anywhere, and if you really want to get a piece, you might be able to go to some place like that as well.